Hit it, baby. Welcome to the 505. I'm fat and old, but still alive. I voiced some games, I had some luck. But as a gamer, folks, I suck. That's why I'm inviting you to guide this aging boomer through. So bibbity-boo, and welcome to Uncle G's Tea House. It's a you and me house. Drinks are always free house. To be or not to be house of someone in a tree house. A Captain Hook and Smee house. A Merry Melody house and episodes of Glee House. Who writes this shit? Uncle G's Tea House. Well, my dear friends, welcome back. This is the Tea House with a liquor license. Let's have a drink. And tonight we will descend once again into rapture. You know, guys, one of the things BioShock does brilliantly is show us a city that began as a love letter to human potential. Now Andrew Ryan builds Rapture as a sanctuary for the brilliant. No kings, no gods. But that's a dangerous policy in any civilization. What makes Rapture so unsettling isn't the horror, it's the idealism, it's the architecture. I mean, it's also so fucking beautiful. A city born from hope and a belief that human potential, if freed from interference, would bloom into something extraordinary. When reality refuses to cooperate, idealism doesn't quietly adjust. Oh, hell no. It doubles down. And that is when improvement becomes experiment. The horror in Rapture isn't the opposite of its ideals. It's the consequence of them being pushed past restraint. A full disclosure, when I started playing the other night, on Sunday night, I was terrible at it. You're going to find tonight that I sort of, my mind goes, and once I start to play and I talk about some things and I might forget stories. Again, I'm 65 years old. This happens. My friend, this is so nice. I don't know why I'm Italian, and here I am. Unrelated, I use the Uncle Iroh voice so much, There's sometimes when I am in the house, my wife will say to me, use your real voice, Greg, real voice. I was terrible at playing the game the other night. I have done a little work and I have played. So I did play by myself and I got all the way up to the medical centers. The problem with playing the game is where I stopped the game, things were getting very, very, very scary. There were a lot of bad people. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Here we go. Oh no. I got a machine gun now though. Take that. And that. Try to shoot me. Boom. Boom. Ha, you like that? How you like that, huh? I think I need to get some first aid. Oh no. Sneak up on me, eh? I got this little robot thing that's following around, and I think he's my friend. She's dead. She's good and dead. You will come to a better place. I hope I do. Pistol, oh yeah, baby. I tell you, my inner Aku comes out when I play this because there's something really satisfying about just, hitting the crap out of people with this giant wrench. How do you like that? Wrench bending is always on the menu. All right, I got a lot of people to search here. This is kind of fun. Oh, my heavens. I think maybe I should get out of here because people keep attacking me. Medical pavilion. All right, this is not that better place. I love Sinatra. And when we were preparing for the premiere episode, I was told, well, they're never going to see your shoes, Greg, so you can wear your flip-flops. You don't have to, put on the black shoes and everything with the tux. And I said to myself, what would Frank Sinatra do? And you know what? Frank Sinatra would have worn the black shoes. I am wearing full black shoes. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, my God. Can I come in through here? Oh, now I see it. Spoiler alert. Don't trust Atlas. Hit electro bolts. All right. Hack a shot. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. See, this is what happens when the old man talks too much. Someone tries to kill me. Where are you, you rat bastard? That's the last time you will talk with me. Contrary to common wisdom, Uncle Iroh's language was sometimes much fucking saltier than you might think. Purchase items. Good. Vodka's on the menu? Come on, you don't have to ask me twice. Thank you, man. Items insufficient, son. Well, isn't that the way of it, guys? All right, I'll come back when you get some money, buddy. Aku is in the driver's seat now. And when I find the samurai in Rapture, I will kill him. I will bring his head, and his blood will run extra thick One of the cool things about being fortunate enough to voice both Iroh and Aku is they are absolutely diametrically opposed. It's like yin and yang. We all aspire to be more like Uncle Iroh. But sometimes you just have to have an Aku day. Let me kill some more. I will find a samurai. I will find you, Steinman. That is what I think of your nose. Come back when you got more money. So I'm learning the arrow is helpful, right? People will often tell me, you guys, will tell me often that I made your childhood. You guys have made my old age. So I'm having a fantastic old age here. So thanks for that. Oh no. I'm getting the hang of it though. It's not quite so scary. When I first started playing it the other night, the other day, it was like, you want a piece of this? You want a piece of me? Huh? You want a piece of this? You want a piece of that, huh? Here we go. How about that, huh? You're not so tough now, are you, Mr. Nitro Splicer? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, come back again sometime. I'll give you some more of that. In loving memory of Winston. This looks kind of interesting. Ooh, a grenade box. I will take. Thank you very much. Even though this game is 20 years old, I am continually astounded at how beautiful it is. I mean, it really is just a beautiful, beautiful, game. If only I'd held up so well after 20 years. Well, we don't want that. Oh, man. I do find that the wrench seems to be the best thing to work with at this point. Yeah. What you got for me? Thank you. You got some chips? Oh, you bastard. This way. Ooh, this is interesting. Can I get in? Can he get in, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. I'm just going to whack it. Press your Mac and get hints for your active goal. Oh, that sounds boring. I'd rather just come through here and whack things. I do believe that BioShock would make a pretty good live-action film. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have a little drink with my Stoic here. If you're at home tonight, if you're drinking tea, if you're drinking something a little bit stronger, well then... Oh! Here's to you, my friends. I got liquor on my microphone. Yes, yeah, you're right. Now it truly is a studio microphone. I'm going to be talking about Marcus Aurelius later. How did I get into acting? I was 10 years old. Now, I was raised in Texas. Living in Dallas, I'm very conflicted about Texas. I love Texas. I hate Texas. It's a complicated matter. Anyway, my parents dropped my little brother and I off at see a movie at the local cinema. It was a musical. The first musical that I truly remember seeing. And if anybody knows me, I love to talk about musicals. It was called Scrooge. And every December, they do air it. It's a musical that stars Albert Finney. And I remember this was in a bygone era where parents could leave a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old and just drop them off at the theater all by themselves for the day and then pick them up. We were a little early, and so we walked into the movie during the big musical finale, which if you've ever seen Scrooge before, is this giant. It just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and joy heaped on top of joy, heaped on top of more joy. I started crying. At the time, I didn't even know why I was crying. I just know that finale of Scrooge made me feel so happy. And I also knew that the actor, Albert Finney, rest in peace, he was actually only in his mid-30s at the time, and one of the few actors who actually played old Scrooge and young Scrooge. This young guy gets to be this old Scrooge. I want to do that too. The only way I can talk about it, it was almost a religious experience. The 10-year-old little kid that walked into that theater was not the same that came out of that theater. That's how I got into acting. And trust me, I will go off on another tangent. Which way should I go? I think I'm going in the right way. I'm learning that the arrow is very helpful. When I was playing it for the first time, it was literally a lot of this. Where am I? I don't know where I am. This is weird. Uh-oh. Oh, buddy. Who is fucking with me? Once I make another corpse, I will search that corpse. Who is bothering? Who is firing at me? And isn't that little robot supposed to help me? Dude, can you die in this game? I don't even know. I always keep you having the first aid. Can you literally die and have to go back? I guess we'll find out. I want to search the corpse. All right, I have had enough of you. I've hidden from the security camera. That's a good thing. I'm going to creep along. Oh, this is interesting. Oh my. Oh heavens. It's the lasers are shooting at me. Fuck. All right, this way. All right, I'm going this way. No, not that way. I don't think I like this Steinman guy. How you like that, huh? Oh, I shot her. That's great. Oh, I haven't used this. That's pretty handy. I don't know how many rounds I have, though. See? How'd you like some of that, see? Yeah, you eagly mug. Well, maybe I got him after all. Uh-oh, no, I think something bad happened. We have been joined tonight, not just by the unsinkable Molly Magoo Brown, who goes by the name of Molly. We have also been joined by Queen Calafia Manelli Waggledy-Bottom, also known as Callie, and she's right over there. Callie, come over here so everybody can see you. Come here, guys, come up here. Come over here, say it's over Daddy. This is Calafia Waggledy-Bottom. He is half terrier, half chihuahua. This is Molly. Molly is half pit and half cattle dog. I'm glad you guys get to meet Molly and Callie because I love our dogs. We all love our dogs, man. Well, all dogs are great, but if you can get a dog from a shelter, shelter dogs are really awesome. You have 5 kitties? You have 5 kitties. Holy moly, that's a lot of kitties. The most we ever had in our house, 3 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 kids. 1 wife. That was a lot. But one of your dogs is named Iroh. That is a good name for a dog. We've had dogs since I was a kid. The only thing that makes me a little sad now, I'm getting a little older, and Callie is now 6 years old and Molly's 2, and I'm realizing now that I am actually on dog years now. I think we might all just go out together. Do you guys want me to talk about puppies, or you don't want me to kill something with a submachine gun and some wrenches? We could do both at the same time. I don't want to use the submachine gun anymore because I don't want to use the rounds. Oh, I'm in the Vita chamber. How do we get out of the Vita chamber? All right, let's give it a try. Oh, I can load my weapon. There, I want the wrench.
The parasite hates 3 things. Free markets.
It sounds a little like Azula, frankly. Gray Delisle is a lovely, lovely human. Not only is she one of the greatest voice actresses of all time, she's also a really, really nice person. Of all the Avatar cast members, I think Gray is the only one that I still fanboy around just a little bit, And Mae Whitman, certainly, Dante Bosco is also just a sweetheart. I was very, very intimidated by him when I first met him, but he was so very kind to me. And, Dante as well tells the story about the first time that I ever actually did the voice and came to the session and how I will always, always appreciate how kind Dante was to me that day and how kind Dante has continued to be to me since that day. And that brings me to another point. Just going to basically just give a shout out to all of my Avatar castmates. Every single one of them are delightful, talented, gifted human beings. When we were recording, it's a job in LA. You go in, you record for an hour and a half, you go home, you get back to your life. Not only did I appreciate Dante's kindness at the time, but I do say this in all sincerity, thank you. If I had been cast as to replace Mako, to do the voice as Iroh 2.0 today, probably would have run away screaming. Instead, you have all been so kind to me and so accepting of me. And I cannot thank all of you enough for that. It was, people think I had a lot of fun. Was it fun when you went in and bred Iroh? No, man, it was terrifying. But you know what? It makes it worth it because I've got to make friends all over the country, all over the world, and I'm making friends even tonight. But you know who I'm not making friends of? I'm not making friends of these splicers. And if you're lucky enough to meet Mae Whitman, then you are lucky indeed. Lovely, lovely, lovely woman. I remember watching her in Independence Day. She was the president's daughter. And to actually get to work with her, pretty cool. I got to tell you, it beats being a paralegal for the Walt Disney Studios. Although, it wasn't a bad gig, Cheers, my nieces and nephews. Live long and prosper. When I'm having a cocktail, I want to know that there's booze in it, There's a place for really sweet drinks. And ironically, I did a show in Long Island one time, and the venue was at the hotel. So once the venue was over, I would go back to the hotel and to the bar and have a drink. And the fans were all there too, so of course they kept sending me over Long Island iced teas. And here is wisdom, my friends. The first Long Island tea is always delicious. The second Long Island tea is also delicious. The third Long Island tea is always a mistake. Well, I'm grand. Well, you're grand. No, you're grand too. I'm not grand. You're grand. No, you're grand. Long Island iced teas are deadly because they're so sweet. That's the problem. I don't like sweet drinks because you don't know what you're getting with sweet drinks. You know, if I can taste the booze, I know when I've had enough. If I can't, you just keep drinking Long Island teas, you know, and what a teddy bear. The Lord hates a quitter. Should I hack something? Oh, this is like these games, sort of. Swap the pieces to divert the flow to the green goal. Ha ha! I am finished. I have done it. Where do I go? Where do I go? See, these are the scenes that blow my mind. They just blow my mind, man. It reminds me of the Fallout world, which is so dystopian, as is the Rapture world. And it does amaze me. I think I mentioned this Sunday how, yes, these worlds are horrible and bloody and nasty, but they're also kind of fascinating and beautiful, you know? It's like you might not mind living in this world for just a little while, or at the very least, a theme park attraction based on Rapture would be pretty awesome. Oh! Ha ha! Fuck with me anymore. That is the last time we will fuck with the Shogun of Sorrow. The master of masters. If you see the samurai, do me a solid and kill him. The eternal flame, we're going this way. I think, right? Or is it that way? I bet I can melt it. Maybe not. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Ice, ice, baby. I like my ice crushed. Matt, would you do me a favor? It's you see the little bourbon over there? Right over there? Yeah. Could you hit me with just a soupçon of that? Just a soupçon. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Show's going to get a little longer now. I went to school with Jeff Bennett. The voice of Dexter's dad, the voice of Johnny Bravo, the voice of literally, I'm the voice of your childhood. No. Jeff Bennett is the voice of your childhood. And we used to compete against each other. I think he went to Clear Lake High School. I went to Spring High School in Texas. Jeff and I became friends. He ended up going to the University of Houston with me. He got all the good parts because I always was a character actor, and Jeff always looked like a leading man, but was a character actor, which is a great combination to have. And even when he and his wife, Susie, moved out to L.A., they came and stayed with us, and we kept in touch. And so we've been friends. I'm still friends with Jeff. And the thing is, my friend Bill was a showrunner on Shaolin Showdown. The reason I was Daddy Bailey is because the showrunner knew that I was friends with Jeff and wanted to surprise Jeff when I showed up at the session playing his father. My kids are actually in Disneyland today, and so I feel like that is sort of a sign that what I would like to talk about is theme parks. What is the greatest dark ride in the world? There is only one correct answer. A dark ride is it's not a roller coaster. A dark ride is Pirates of the Caribbean would be a dark ride. Guys, yeah, you guys get me. Welcome, foolish mortals, to Disney's Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. One of the proudest things I ever got to do, and I have got to do so many really cool things in my life, but one of the absolute coolest is if you go to Big Thunder Mountain, Tokyo Disneyland, for the English translation, I am the guy that will say, hold on to your hats and glasses for the wildest ride in the wilderness. And I remember when I recorded it, it was so cool because they had these photographs. It was not in the usual, recording booth. It was actually at Imagineering in Glendale. And they had literally the booth. It wasn't really a booth. It was a very large booth. And it just had so many pictures up of Paul Frees, for example, reading The Haunted Mansion for the first time. And it just had all of these people. And I was sort of struck by the history of it all and to be part of that, Haunted Mansion is the greatest dark ride in existence. I don't like roller coasters, but I know some people like roller coasters. Tell me about roller coasters, man. Give me a roller coaster that you guys like. It's just not my thing. We would go to
Six Flags Magic Mountain. And my kids loved it. And it's like, oh, hell no. I'm not getting on that thing. Oh, no. That is not going to happen. Absolutely not. I do remember when my wife, my lovely Melissa, she used to work at and this is very sad. This is a sad story, only because I was raised in Houston, Texas, went to high school there. I think I lived in Houston from 1973 to 1987 when Melissa and I left for LA. And if you're a Houstonian, there used to be across the freeway from the Astrodome, there was a theme park called Astro World. It was a great theme park. And Melissa actually worked there. She was a dancing animal. She was a, full costumed head, dancer. And I've always thought, wow, that was terribly brave of her. Because I don't know if you've ever been to Houston in August, but Houston in August out in the air with a, giant head over you, I don't know how she did it. But what's very sad about Astro World is that it's not there anymore. For whatever reasons, and I think there are documentaries about this on YouTube about what happened to Astro World. Literally, if you go to Houston, and I was near there just the other week, there's nothing there. Every last vestige of this theme park is gone. And it makes me very sad because that was something that I grew up with. We would go there. That was the Houston theme park. And I find it odd that Houston is the fourth largest city in the world. I think it has like 3 water parks. I don't know. It just makes me want to weep when I look at that. What used to be this place of fun and excitement, and we would get so excited about going to it, and then it's gone. Oh my God. You piloted the Falcon at Disneyland. I love the Falcon. I love Smuggler's Run, but for some reason, and I don't know why, it makes me a little bit sick. I don't generally get a little sick on rides, but for some reason, that one does make me a little sick. Rise of the Rebellion. Now that is a ride, my friends. It takes all of the elements of all rides that Disney does. It has the dark ride. It has a roller coaster component. It has a simulator component. And what I love about Rise of the Resistance is it keeps going. I mean, I love Peter Pan's Flight at Disneyland. It's a great ride, and it's a classic ride. It's beloved. But, you wait in line because it's an older ride that doesn't move as well. And it's like, 5 minutes long. Now, I think the Peter Pan ride, and I think the new Peter Pan ride is in Shanghai, I believe, Shanghai Disneyland. I've watched that on YouTube, and that looks absolutely amazing. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Spoiler alert, guys. The beautiful thing about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is I cannot think of another ride where you die and go to hell. All right, again, I worked for the Walt Disney Company for you can put it all together. I worked for Disney for about 20 years. Disney's kind of like Texas. I love Disney. I hate Disney. They laid me off, twice, but they hired me back twice. But the coolest thing they did at Disneyland is you got into the parks free. And I know my kids were freaked out because we had grown up just getting in free. And suddenly I didn't work for Disney anymore. And they discovered, oh my God, are you kidding me, Dad? It's like $500, $1,000 just to walk in. Yes, I'm afraid it is. It's remarkable that we love Disney as much as we do. Even though they laid me off, even though, with all of their problems, especially with the parks, their product is delivering magic. Every time I'm there, when Tinkerbell flies across the castle, I cry. I'm a little kid again. And I know it's just a gymnast on a line. I don't know. It just speaks to your soul, I think. I think the desire for magic, the desire for happy endings. And I think that's sort of what speaks to us all about Disney. I know my son, he's in Disneyland today. Next month, he's going to Asia. His goal is to visit all of the Disney parks. And after he goes to Asia, he will have done it. The parades, oh my God. The electrical light parade, when Melissa and I were dating. And this, my friends, was back in 1981. Melissa had gone to school just for the summer at UCLA, and we had started dating and said, I want to come out and see you because we both love Disneyland. Come out and see you, and I'm going to go to Disneyland. That also is one of the things that sort of cements Disneyland in my heart because this is like in 1981. I'm literally coming out there and visiting Melissa, and we got to go to Disneyland. And again, we actually honeymooned at Epcot Center in 1984 when we got married, and Epcot had just opened, which was really cool. I feel very fortunate indeed because we also got to go to a soft opening of California Adventure. And I'm not going to tell Disney to do how to do things, but it was nice to see both Epcot and California Adventure as the parks they were originally intended to be. Now, of course, they brought all the IP into it, and I understand that. Of course I do. Disney wants to make money. But it was cool just to see Epcot and California Adventure in its sort of pristine way in which it was intended. Let me have another one of these bourbon. All right, now he puts game controller away because now we're starting to talk about Star Wars. I saw Star Wars in 1977. I was 17 years old. I was at a speech tournament, a national speech tournament in Seattle, Washington. And I got eliminated from the competition, fairly early, but we still had a week in Seattle. My coach did not want to see Star Wars, but he said, you go see it if you want. I said, well, how do I see it? He said, we'll take a cab. Well, I'm just a little old boy, Spring, Texas. I don't never taken a cab before. Yes, Lauren, now we're on Star Wars. You know how this goes, man. Anyway, I took a cab. Was the first in line for the next showing. And I waited in line for like 2.5 hours to be the first in line and walked in to see it. When you're sitting in that audience in 1977 and the Star Cruiser goes over your head, man, it was real. It was the first time. Every other time it had been wires and things, and this time it looked real. It looked old. It looked used. And I think from that moment on, I literally fell in love with Star Wars. And I loved the prequels before it was cool to love the prequels. If we're going to talk about the sequels, let's just say I'm going to have a little drink here. I don't know. I hope maybe some of you out there love the sequels. I just thought you're retelling the same thing over again, The less said about the sequels, the better. Now, some of the stuff that Disney's done, the television shows on Disney Plus, they have been great, Andor was freaking great. I think it was in Obi-Wan Kenobi where we finally learned of Terra Sinube's ignoble end. I was actually on an airplane at the time, and someone had texted me and said, hey, do you know what happened to your character, Terra Sinube? He's on Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's dead. And it made me sad, actually. I would love to see that character come back. I love Terra Sinube. Of all the characters that I've done outside of Iroh and Aku, he's my favorite. But in my will, it is very specifically spells out that my epitaph is to read Greg Baldwin, devoted husband, beloved father, firebending Jedi. I'm proud of that, man. All right, I'm going to play for a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens, especially after that bourbon. We're going to surgery. Talking about Disneyland now, imagine Aku did build the Death Star. What are you talking about? I mean, I love Dave Filoni's Clone Wars. I was in the Clone Wars. Dave Filoni is a freaking genius, but so... Oh, excuse me a moment. The wrench is my preferred weapon. Now we will feel the power of the dark side. I will definitely search this desk. Eve games from coffee. A traitor to Uncle Iroh. Delectable tea or deadly poison. They always come at you from behind. That's not fair. Yeah, I'll kill you eventually. I get you. But back to the ice. Ice, baby. Okay, all right, guys, how do I get through this ice, man? I'm guessing this might be how I get out of the ice? No? Matt tells me no. Return the slab. Fire syringe. Return the slab. Fire. Use my electro bolt. Oh, electro bolt? Good heavens, this is insane. I have to learn firebending. A good place to stop for next time. I'm gonna have my little drink. We'll talk some more about fantasy. Put this on pause. And we'll talk about anything. What would you guys? Have any questions for me? No math questions, please. I am happy to talk about anything. What is my favorite Pokemon? Probably Pikachu, just because that's one that I know. Oh, Walking Dead. Walking Dead freaks me out, though, man. Zombies are the one thing. I like horror films. I do, but zombie movies just freak me out. Walking Dead freaks me out. I don't know what it is about it. The whole idea of zombies is just something that I'm... Yeah. Obviously, Night of the Living Dead with the original black and white version is absolutely terrifying. When I got my first tattoo, a friend of mine asked me, he said, do you really want to put anything that permanent on your body? And I thought about it, and I said, I'm 60 years old. It's not that permanent, to be honest with you. This tattoo is good for another 20 years. My favorite horror movies. Now, I like a good slasher film, but, people generally, I think The Exorcist is considered to be one of the scariest films ever made. And I think this will tell you a lot about the kind of films that I like. The Exorcist is a great movie, a classic movie. But if you've ever seen a film called Rosemary's Baby, that was a film that freaks me out every time because the evil is so normal. The villains basically are this nice old couple that lives next door. They are basically of Satan. And if you've never seen Rosemary's Baby, I highly recommend it. It has a haunting score. I love movie scores. And the score is like this haunting lullaby. And so, yeah, that is a great, really wonderful, wonderful film. I love. You want to talk about a horror movie I loved? Sinners. Oh, my fucking God. What a show. What a movie. Sinners is, that's actually, oddly, that's one of the reasons I loved Sinners. It's because it was also a musical. Honestly, and this is just my opinion, no one else's. For me, the greatest movies made in the 21st century thus far have been Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Sinners. I will die on that hill. And now, for something completely different, because it is important to draw wisdom from different sources. Otherwise, it becomes rigid and stale. We don't take wisdom from just one place, from one century, not even from one fandom, and certainly not from one loud voice on the internet. That is exactly how thinking gets rigid. That's how cities sink. Now, here in the Tea House, we are fortunate indeed to be in possession of a very rare and a very special book. Let's consult it, shall we?
Now, it is heavy because perspective accumulates weight over time, which is why I currently weigh approximately 225 pounds. This book is incredibly old. I like old things. There's great value in old things. I myself happen to be an old thing. Tonight, let us listen to another voice from another empire, another crisis, another moment when human beings were very sure that they were right. Let's see what survived. Tonight, we will have a little healing advice from a man who ruled the known world and privately wrestled with his own mind. Marcus Aurelius did not write for applause or legacy. He wrote to survive himself. In his meditations, he reminds himself to waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. No branding, no platform, just instruction. And he also wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now, think about that. Just imagine that. My nieces and nephews. An emperor whose throne was the entire known world, and yet his revelation is not to control that world, but to govern his thoughts. And he also said this, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Rapture and several corners of the internet would certainly collapse within a week under that rule. And of course, there is my favorite. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. I mean, that's amazing. The obstacle, it's not the interruption of the path. It is the path. So if you're stuck or you're hurting or something stands in front of you like a locked door, good. That, my nieces and nephews, is when the work begins. I'll tell you another little story about that, about locked doors and how when you think you're not going to go through, you're not going to get through. As I told you, I worked for the Disney Studios at this point, I'd been working with them for 13 years. This was in 2006. And this particular day, I was called into my supervisor's office, and I walk in, and HR is there. And anybody who works for a big corporation, when HR is there, that is the angel of death, baby. That is not a good thing. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm getting laid off. And indeed, I was laid off. So we went back into my office, and I'm just, freaking out. It's like my kids at this point, they're both teenagers. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to be going to college. What are we going to do? This is terrible. This is a terrible thing. What am I going to do? And I swear to you, hand to God, within an hour of being laid off from the Walt Disney Company, my agent called me up and said, Greg, we just heard from Nickelodeon. You're their top pick. They want to see you at the studio next week.
So yes, sometimes the obstacle is not the obstacle you think it's going to be. And sometimes very truly, when one door closes, another door opens. In any case, we just spent a whole hour wandering through collapsed utopias and underwater cities. We owe ourselves a reminder that the world above sea level is still breathing. If you look for the light, you will often find it. That's not denial, my friends. That's not pretending either that the dark isn't there, because the dark is there. It's real. History is real. Failure is real. Death is real. But you know what else is real? Light. Light rarely kicks down your door. It doesn't trend, doesn't shout, doesn't monetize particularly well either. It just persists in small decisions, in quiet decency, and someone choosing not to be cruel when cruelty would be so much easier. That's the light, man. It's the nurse who stays 5 minutes late and doesn't mention it. It's the neighbor who returned your trash can this morning. It's apologizing before you're required to. It is restraint, and it is humility. And my friends, it is a story exactly like this. This weekend in New Zealand, a pod of pilot whales got stranded on a beach. So many people, marine biologists, fishermen, strangers, kids, what they did is they formed bucket lines, and they kept those whales wet. And when the water rose, they guided them back out to sea. Not politics, not noise, just ordinary people kneeling in the sand saying, not today. Know this, my nieces and nephews. The tide is inevitable. Kindness is intentional. Before we leave, I'd like you to bear with me, and I want you to think of just one good thing that happened to you today. And it doesn't have to be the grand gesture. It doesn't have to be that viral miracle we all hope for. Just one quiet moment when your world tilted gently toward decency. I know it's hard, but it's there. Think about it and hold it. Hold it close. Don't narrate it. Don't decorate it. Just hold it. We will not let the darkness have the final word. We talked a lot tonight about empires collapsing. We didn't talk enough about the invisible scaffolding that keeps daily life from collapsing. Believe it or not, my nieces and nephews, most days the world does not burn. Most days people hold it together. Doesn't make headlines, but it makes tomorrow possible. If all you consume is outrage, well, you're going to begin to believe that outrage is the only language that you know how to speak, and it isn't. Most of the time, this world is stitched together by ordinary goodness, ordinary miracles, uncelebrated, unrecorded, just steady. Steady is underrated. The light isn't fireworks. It's orientation. It's remembering which way is north when the compass starts to spin. Sometimes the light is literally just showing up. You did that here tonight. You didn't yell. You didn't mock. You shared a favorite fandom without fear or ridicule, and so did I. We all chose curiosity over certainty. And that, my friends, that is light. Small, but real. Hit it, baby. We played a game. We had some laughs. But all good things must end. And so, before we meet again, destiny is your friend. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you had a good time tonight, do your old Uncle Chi a small kindness. Like, subscribe, follow wherever you happen to be watching. It helps this little tea house stay lit, and the cocktails, oh baby, they help Uncle G stay lit. Next episode is It Had to Be You. We're going to talk about inevitability and the people who enter your life and quietly rearrange the furniture of your soul. Same time, same place. Be well, my nieces and nephews. Be happy. Be kind. Good night.